Think about it, he too easy to hate on. He was doing good in Canada. He dancing with his white friend, Jewish uncle. They having bar mitzvahs, good investments. You feel me?
Yeah.
His mama family got that check. Kendrick going through it, bro.
Yeah.
He had a rough life. That's too, Drake shouldn't have messed with him anyway. You don't start no with nobody from Compton. Compton? Hell no. They've been running the rap game since '91.
Right.
Why would you do that? Out of all the people to beef with?
Not Like Us is already aging like fine wine, and it hasn't been long since Kendrick had the world dancing on Drake's grave, marking a shift in the rap scene.
What is the next move for Drake?
Lawsuit.
No.
He's gonna sue. Listen.
Why? He needs to sue all the investigators on Twitter have been pulling all the stories.
The investigators on Twitter ain't got to lose. Let me tell you something. Drake is half white.
Exactly.
Okay?
This is what
Y'all about to
talking
learn.
about.
Saying he's gonna go Karen?
Drake mama's side of the family is like, oh no, Aubrey. No. This man is out here calling you a pedophile.
Not
Listen,
Aubrey.
there's probably people at Nike. There's probably people at Universal. There's people that got real vested interest in Drake. That is a multi-billion dollar entity.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta protect your name. All that rap. Call your cousin. Call your cousin, who's the lawyer.
Drake seems to be spiraling into a situation he never expected, and it's starting to look like he might go out like Milli Vanilli. He made history in the rap game by becoming the first person ever to file an 81-page lawsuit against UMG over a diss track, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Drake claims the song wasn't just defamatory, but it caused a ripple effect that wrecked his home life, with his son Adonis getting dragged through public ridicule because of the negative comments about their family. Drake is clearly not playing around this time. If he had simply dropped new music, gone live, or done some TikTok dances instead of letting the Kendrick beef become his new personality, the moment likely would have passed. But Drake can't seem to get over the fact that someone he didn't even think was in his league managed to wipe the floor with him in such a public way. His diehard fans are trying to forget the fact that Drake was the one who kept taunting Kendrick. After Family Matters, Drake probably went to bed thinking he had put his rival in his place, but now the tables have turned and Drake is taking his frustrations out on his record label, UMG, one of the biggest labels in the world. According to his lawsuit, his life has been completely shattered because of Kendrick's success with Not Like Us. In the lawsuit, Drake details how on May 7th, 2024, a group of armed attackers drove up to his Toronto mansion and sprayed bullets at the place while he and his family were inside. One bullet hit the front door, and another struck a security guard who was rushed to the hospital. The very next day, another intruder was caught digging under Drake's security fence, attempting to break into the property. If security hadn't caught him, it's possible there would have been more damage. While Drake's history includes some shady dealings and small-time beefs, particularly with Cash XO, he pins these recent attacks on UMG. He claims that the label heavily pushed Not Like Us to become a mainstream phenomenon, even after learning about the security threats against his home. Drake alleges that UMG chose profits over the safety of their artists, continuing to promote the song despite the risk to his personal security. The lawsuit also accuses UMG of promoting Kendrick's track as part of a master strategy to bring Drake down. Kendrick had recently renewed his contract with Interscope, a division of UMG, and since UMG owns Kendrick's entire catalog, they were incentivized to push the song to a massive audience. As the song climbed the charts, Drake's reputation continued to plummet. This wasn't just a cultural moment, it was a full-blown strategy to undermine him, according to Drake. Drake's own reputation took a huge hit as the song gained traction. The accusations against him in the song, including the personal insults and attacks on his character, began to carry more weight. With the song becoming one of the fastest-growing tracks in history, even people outside of rap circles started getting in on the hype. The song's success triggered a deep dive into Drake's personal life, with many using the song's lyrics as evidence to back up the claims Kendrick made about him. As the song continued to rise, it spread far beyond just rap fans. But the ripple effect didn't stop there. It began affecting his young son, Adonis. Kids at Adonis' school started teasing him after hearing the song, and flyers calling Drake a PDF, a derogatory term for being fake, were posted around the Toronto neighborhood. The negativity reached such a point that Drake was forced to pull Adonis out of elementary school and send him and his mother, Sophie Brousseau, away from Toronto. Drake cited the nasty comments made about his son in his lawsuit as a major reason for the move. At first, UMG refused to respond to the allegations, Word was they were trying to handle things behind the scenes, hoping Drake would drop the lawsuit. But when Drake refused to back down, UMG released a statement. They denied the claims, asserting that the idea they'd intentionally harmed Drake's reputation was illogical. They pointed out how much they had invested in Drake's career and how their employees around the world had worked tirelessly to help him achieve commercial and personal success. UMG also took the opportunity to expose Drake has been accused of outright stealing songs and content from lesser-known artists, and his lawsuit seems to reflect a biased focus. The only streamers and creators mentioned are Black figures like Kai Cat, while other prominent streamers like XQC and Odin Ross, who also help review and promote Not Like Us, are left out. It appears Drake is using this lawsuit as leverage to pressure advertisers and Super Bowl organizers to stop Kendrick from performing the track on such a major stage. If Drake somehow wins, it could set a dangerous precedent, severely limiting the freedom rappers have in expressing themselves creatively without fearing. Meanwhile, Drake has faced rumors and evidence circulating on the internet about his questionable relationships with women who could easily be his daughters, adding another layer of hypocrisy to the situation. As the lawsuit continues to unfold, both sides are entrenched. Fans are divided on who's in the right, with some feeling that Drake is justified in his legal action, while others believe he's just overreacting. What started as a rap beef has snowballed into something much bigger, and it's clear that this feud is far from over. Whether or not Drake can salvage his career from this mess, only time will tell, but it's safe to say that the beef between him and Kendrick Lamar is going to leave a mark on the rap game for a long time. If Family Matters had been a bigger hit in 2014, it could have seriously damaged Kendrick Lamar's reputation and family. Back then, Kendrick was already facing allegations, including a claim that he was involved in a confrontation with a white woman in Vegas. Word was that Kendrick's PR team intervened, forcing the woman to settle while ensuring all evidence of the incident disappeared from the internet. At the time, Kendrick was engaged to Whitney, and the situation could have caused even more damage to both his career and personal life.
I got told to go up to her room to help some girl get down to the casino because she was scared. She ends up being all bloody and everything. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, it was lovely. So I'm like, oh, crap. And so I had to call, like, my supervisor, then I had to call my other supervisor, then I had to call my boss. And I was like, we got a situation. Because, like, half of her face was, like, blown out pretty much. Oh, so God. I'm like, oh, lovely. And come to find out, she was with a certain rapper who had...
was his first name Lil?
No.
That'll narrow it down.
His first name was Kendrick.
Beat some guy bloody and did something to some female. Yeah. And they said they had evidence and all of this. And then I never heard anything about it again.
Yeah, because it's foolishness. Mm-hmm. That's the most ignorant stuff I've ever heard made up.
I was like, Kendrick did that? I doubt it.
And, you know, that person, whoever made that up, owes an apology. Not to me, but to women that actually go out there and get a... You dig what I'm saying? That's a real issue, and to be putting a person name that stands for someone way more better, that's been raised and way more better than that.
There were also rumors about Kendrick stepping out on his wife with a white woman in Copenhagen, and he later opened up about his past struggles with addiction on his album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. If Family Matters had been a bigger hit, Kendrick's family life could have been severely impacted, especially with a domestic violence accusation in the mix. But Drake's lawsuit against UMG isn't about defending artists. Is about his refusal to admit he took an L to Kendrick. Drake's trying to frame the lawsuit as a fight against the system, but let's be real, he's always focused on himself. He's never been the type to look out for others, even when he's benefited from similar tactics throughout his career.
This whole conversation that's been positioned about Drake doing this to help other artists is not about no other artists, it's about himself. Had he won the battle, he would have not filed nothing. He would have not filed nothing. Instead of saying soft, they say Drake.
Drake has been accused of outright stealing songs and content from lesser-known artists, and his lawsuit seems to reflect a biased focus. The only streamers and creators mentioned are Black figures like Kai Cat, while other prominent streamers like XQC and Odin Ross, who also help review and promote Not Like Us, are left out. It appears Drake is using this lawsuit as leverage to pressure advertisers and Super Bowl organizers to stop Kendrick from performing the track on such a major stage. If Drake somehow wins, it could set a dangerous precedent, severely limiting the freedom rappers have in expressing themselves creatively without fearing.
Now, I'm a Drake fan. Everybody knows that, right? This is not a good thing for Drake. It can't be, right? I don't care what his fans try to say. It can't be. Drake can never defeat UMG. There is no artist that can defeat UMG. You can't. It can't.
Drake is facing growing criticism, especially from those who feel he's not truly supporting the culture despite claiming to be. Critics argue that he's been more of a roadblock than a catalyst for hip-hop's progression, pointing to his actions as preventing the genre from moving forward. Some believe Drake's involvement in the ongoing beefs has done more to profit off of Black creators than give back to the culture. And one notable moment was when he was called a colonizer during a hip-hop beef, and instead of addressing it directly, he responded through the legal system. Many are questioning his genuine contributions, with some arguing he's only ever given back through monetizing conflict. What do you think? Share your thoughts below.
Lawyer.